it just Brandy? Okay, so I don't want to say just Brandy, but Brandy. Okay, just Brandy. She's got the cutest logo. And then we have Brandy Sherrill, and she is a doula. She's starting Empowered Mamas of Cincinnati. She's a doula, so if you know anybody who's giving birth or you plan on giving birth, or you want to get pregnant. But she is also a licensed therapist with Poppy's Therapeutic Corner. I'm like, then when I was trying to get another one, it was like, it's a waiting list. Like, okay. Yeah, then she got a
Rose one or North.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm trying to go. So, if you are looking for a therapist, Poppy Therapeutic Corner is all black therapist.
I started doing yoga maybe about 4 years ago with a friend just at her salon on a random, like, we're gonna do this. I really wasn't expecting anything, just like, oh, okay, like, I can go get in shape maybe, whatever, tone up. I had my first experience with a black yoga instructor, a strong black woman yoga instructor, and it literally has changed my life. If you knew me in high school or whatever, and you run into my mother, she will say, oh, maybe if you ask how I'm doing it, like, she's like, listen, I don't know what classes Brandy goes to, but you should go to her yoga classes because she is so nice now. Like, I was a total bitch. You're gonna be so aware of everything. You're gonna be very conscious about what you put in your body, from the food to the medicine to everything. You're gonna question what you're reading, what you're listening to, who you sitting around, everything. Because you know what? Energy is real. Energy is transferable. You want to know why you always in a bad mood? Who you around? Are they always in a bad mood? Co-workers nagging all the time? It's hard to tune them out. But we got to learn how to tune them out. Yoga teaches us to be present in our brain and our minds, which is the muscle that we don't flex enough, the muscle that don't get worked. Well, it gets worked. It gets worked, but we need to rework it.
So I think this year I have just been on a journey of self-discovery. I have been through just a lot in my life, and I used to always question, like, why me, why me? And so I came to the conclusion of, like, why not me? Because to whom much is given, much is required. And so I just feel like now I can look at things as like, you know, everything I went through was to help somebody else. It wasn't really about me. And so I've been able to take some of that, like, pain and anguish off of me. Because everything that I have went through, I have ended up helping somebody through that same situation. And so I'm like, oh, well, that was why, you know, I had to go through that, because I need to help her through it, or I need to talk them through it. So I've always wanted to help people in some capacity. I went to school, I wanted to be a nurse, I wanted to be a teacher. Like, I just knew I wanted to help. I ended up having my son my first year of college, and so I was like, well, let me go into social work. I want to, like, help people through the system. You know, I was on government assistance, and I didn't like the way I was treated. So that brought me into social work. And so I wanted to be a therapist. I then got into the maternal health field with my degree, and it brought me into the racial disparities of Black women. So then I was like, okay, I want to do social work, but we can't talk about maternal health without talking about mental health. So I was like, okay, well, how can I intertwine therapy with public health? And so I became a doula. I became a lactation counselor because I had my fourth kid as I got into maternal health. And I just knew more. And as I learned more, I'm like, this is crazy. You know, we're getting a lot of misinformation. Black people are built different, you know, our DNA is different. You know, we got melanin, you know, we got our ancestors running through our blood and stuff. And so I'm into all that. I'm like, I'm the shit for real. Like, what? Excuse me?
Flower, when did your petals last bloom? Was it as soon as you gave yourself to be consumed as wife, as mother, companion, lover, accommodating all others at the expense of yourself? Sometimes too hard to even ask for help, although you know you need to repot your soil. Flower, When is the last time you fortified your roots? The truth is that you need just as much sunlight as you offer to others. Making them green. We are rebuilding a nation. Reshaping Renaissance is reminiscent of Harlem, teaching the hood how to urban gardening, buying land that once housed plantations, recycling wealth through black generations. No more of our greatness being relegated by hatred. No more tediously waiting for freedom and reparations. We are our saviors.
I don't know where everybody came from, but we all came from a black woman. So if you didn't know that, leave knowing that you are greater than what they will show us. We're gonna close our eyes, close our mouths. And bring our awareness to the breath. As we inhale through our nose, we're gonna hold it when we get to the top before we exhale through our nose. So in yoga, we breathe in through our nose and exhale through our nose.
I'll probably only share this with my son's dad and the therapist. So my earliest memory of being, I didn't know at the time that it was considered depression was, I was 12. And my mom had just moved us to a predominantly white neighborhood. And so I remember being in the kitchen and it was like the middle of the night. I've always loved the middle of the night. It was the middle of the night and I had grabbed a knife out of the cabinet. And I took that knife and I put it up to my wrist. And I was like, I just don't want to be here anymore.
We change the environment in which the flower grows. So we get new soil, we, put it in sunlight, we water it a little more, we move the environment. We don't say anything about the flower. Well, why the damn flower won't grow? Where the petals? Why? We like, oh shit, change the soil out. Like, let me repot it. And so it's the same about our people. If we're not growing, if we're not thriving, if we're mentally ill, what can we do about it if we in the same place that we got sick? Dr. Sebi says you cannot get well in the same place you got sick. So again, you can go to therapy all you want. If you're going home to the same place, to the same toxic ass people, you're not gonna get any better.